Okay, hello. Well, just off starter, I'm gonna teach you how to, play without your team, but also with your team, because you do need your team, but you can still win like I wouldn't say 90, but at least 70% of your games based off this information. Literally, like almost by yourself, no matter the teams. I'm gonna hop straight into it in a second, but I have one more thing to note. I don't want you having like an ego based off this guide. That's like the worst possible thing. I'm gonna go over it in here, but it's really the worst thing you can do for your team. So just noting that before I head into it. I'm gonna break this down into parts because there's not much to go over here, but the things that I do go over are gonna be really important. The first part is gonna be your own performance, like basically your aim. You need to take it somewhere where you can use it. What I mean by this is, let's say your team is pissed around full B. It depends who your team really is, but if you can trust them going B, you can maybe lurk mid if you have good long accuracy. If you have good like entering, of course you should go B with your team though. Just you gotta take yourself somewhere where you can do your best. Reminder, this is gonna be based off your team. Like almost all the time you want to go with your team B apps if you're doing a pissed around B execute. But there's occasion where you want to go mid if you're a star player, I guess. One more thing is just be the entry for your team. Like, your team's not going to know how to entry at their level. Maybe you can bait one if you are confident in yourself, but baiting is not a good habit unless you know you can get this kill. And tell your team they're bait. Tell your team that you're baiting them. It actually helps them. It sets you up better even. So that's what I do all the time. I tell my team to bait me because I'm on tap or something. But point aside, I'm gonna get onto part 2 shortly. It's not gonna be that long of a video, but still have all the good info in it. Okay, for the second part I have, sorry to overload you with responsibility, but if you want to carry your team this hard, you also have to be the IGL, as well as the entry. I don't mind that right there, but here's what I mean. I'm sure these are pretty common words for people that are experienced, but IGL means in-game leader. It means that you are doing all the plans, basically, in simple terms. So okay, I'm gonna get onto the actual plan thing in a little bit, but let me show you a common IGLing execute, I guess, that you can use. One common in CS, I'm just gonna note this now, is smoking mid window and smoking con and going through short to beat. Now, of course, we don't have lineups in Pavlov. We can't smoke con directly. We can't smoke window directly. But what you can do is you can run up mid. You can hopefully kill the mid guy. If you don't, this plan kind of fails. You can smoke con out, and then you just run up here, kill the guys. Maybe have one lurk apps, so you have easier take. But now on to the actual thing. So most of your team, they're not going to listen, right? You have to tell them. You don't have to yell at them. It's a very common mistake. Don't yell at your team. Tell your team. If they don't listen, you bother them again until they actually listen. I don't mean like, a lot of people get this step completely wrong because they ego their team. They yell at them. They're like, you need to do better. You suck. You play your spot better. It's just like really mentalish. As my my motive, my motto, I guess. I don't know what I'm on, but overall, if you want to carry your team hard, you have to keep morale amazing. Like, you literally have to carry morale. No passive aggressiveness at all. Like, a lot of people, like almost everyone is passive aggressive at times because if most of your team is new, tend to get a bit angry. That's fine in certain cases, but it should not be happening multiple times every game. Ideally, never every game. So, but that's unfortunately really hard to do for some people, at least. Now, So calling site executes, you want to be like, you want to make sure your team isn't splitting up if like it's not an actually coordinated plan. So let's say you just full A. Let me go over there. So you want to make sure all your team is going through main, maybe 1 or 2 palace. I usually like to keep like 1 palace rest main, although some people like 2 palace rest main. It's really preference, honestly. If you IGL, you have to actually make sure your team is doing what you ask them. You got to check spawns, see if anyone's AFK or if they're going B direction. You got to see who's going palace. You can even call who do you want going palace. No, listen, unless someone like objects, like no, I don't want to go palace, then you can have someone fill in them for them. But if you really want to carry your team, you got to call who's going where. Just call like 2 of you on some random names. You and you go palace, and the rest of us remain. It makes it flow a lot better. It makes the rounds easier. Now the site executes are a little harder, and they're out of your control fully. So let's say you're coming on main. Maybe 1 smoke on like ticket triple area. Come out here. You check your corners, of course. Don't mind the little bots all over. But come up here. You know, find an entry. Of course, you're the entry frag. Your palace guys are gonna try and kill stairs. When you entry on site and do all the fun stuff. Now I'm kind of getting into my final tip, which is not just yet. Let me go on to the other ones, but IGLing is very important, and IGLing and morale, very mental. Like, you know, all of them. That's so important. Better than entry frag, better than aim. Way more important. Probably the most important thing on this list if you do want to start carrying your lobbies. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so. Well, these are just some tips to actually like fulfill your journey on this wonderful game. Trying to kill your team, but these aren't actual like parts. They're not gonna be like in depth, but these tips, I'm gonna call them tips. They can definitely help you out a lot. The first thing I want to say is like communication. Like for example, if you're just like, you know, you smoked off main. Another tip I'm gonna get into is utility. You want to be doing a lot of utility for your team. So let's say, hold on, I messed up a bit. Don't mind that. Pretend I got like a billion tags. I didn't, but you know, pretend I did. You want to call that out for your team. Okay, let me make this more realistic. Technical difficulties. Ooh. Okay, scrap that. You want to be communicating what you do every single time, because your team has to play around you. Or that's what they should be doing. That's kind of, your team has to be kind of knowledgeable to play off you. But they should be supporting you. Well, of course, they can't. I don't know what I'm saying right now. You should be calling all these things to set up your team. Got it backwards for a second. Now this might seem weird. What do you mean set up my team? I'm supposed to be the one carrying, you know? I'm supposed to be dropping 40 kills every game. Yeah. Okay, no. It's a team game. Yeah, you hear this a lot, especially for something like this. Maybe not like other VR FPSs, but this one you need your team, basically. You need it. You have to communicate. So, of course, everyone does this. You spray some smoke, you call it out, all your team rotates. But you have to be the one like saying, maybe 1 anchor. It's not a full. It could be a fake. You have to call all these things out for your team. Like, you're basically the superhuman on your team. You have to do everything. I'm sorry, but this is the consequences if you want to carry. It's not really that much if you do it a couple times. But on to the next thing, utility. Now this is probably more important, I'm gonna say, honestly. No, it's not more important, but it's definitely very important. So let's say you're throwing a smoke, right? It's probably gonna land somewhere in triple. You just want to throw all the smokes to your team, really. I mean, decent cross smoke, yes. Oops. But For example, if you throw this for your team, that means triple cannot kill them. Like your team's immune to triple now, and that gives you time. Although you kind of got to throw it quick since you're also the entry. You're everything here. Chill. So you don't know. Your team is up here probably. They're like they might kill stairs for you because you know there's 2 other people here. Assuming you did a 3-2 split, they probably kill stairs. Maybe I wouldn't rely on it. So you come in here, 1-tap stairs, boom, he's dead. Okay, I'm kidding, but chill. Of course, you threw the smoke earlier. Your team is not gonna die to triple. Pretend that was there earlier. See, much better. Okay, so now you have that smoke. Your whole team can cross. They can go to site, and you can win the round off 1 smoke, maybe. Depends on your team. I know, chill on me, but that's that utility. I don't want to say like be bossy, but you also have to IGL on CT side. Like a lot of people don't know this, sadly, but you have to IGL at all times. Like that's it's not just on T calling you know what side X is. So let's say you're the mid player. Let's say you're in the mid. You know what's happening on the map. Usually, if you're the sole carry, you want to be con. You just want to sub out someone on A and play con, I guess. But you're mid. Let's say you're taking in all this information from your team if they're giving it, and you're acting off of it. Let's say you Jimmy, the guy on site, is calling. Ooh, they smoked off me on triple. There's 3 main. Now off this, of course you want to rotate. You want to rotate. Now your B guys, you also have to call for them. They probably already rotated, which is a good call. Because you know it's 3A and a smoke, which is pretty realistic. I meant to do like a fake here, so let me go back. So Jimmy, he calls 1 smoke on triple, and then he calls. I only see 1 out main, and then your palace guy, your stairs are dark. I don't know where your palace guy might be. He's calling. I don't hear anything. So, well, of course your team is not going to be that communicative, but at least the site guy will tell you if something's coming. If he doesn't, you're going to ask how many. You're going to ask for the specifics on this. If he tells you just 1, you're going to have... actually, you're gonna default. You're gonna default until like more contact. Say Jimmy dies to this 1 guy. You're gonna rotate jungle, and then the rest are gonna anchor. Maybe be one of the arches guys takes up mid. But overall, you want to be calling everything for your team. I kind of went over on that. I kind of did too much for that, but that's my point. Now for the final thing, it's not really gonna be another part. It's just gonna be like an overall summary. Don't mind. But it's using all these things together. Now T side is usually the easier side if you want to carry, because on CT you have to, play everything. It's harder. But say here, I'm gonna go over a basic thing, like a basic side X you should do when you're on this side. Now, you can carry extra flashbang. Now say round starts AXQ. I have 2 people here with me, and we're going. I'm gonna chalk a nade over there. I'm gonna smoke something out for my team, hopefully triple. And then while my team is running out there, since I can't catch up, I'm gonna throw flash maybe for them. Make sure not to flash them. You can throw it over them and hopefully flash them. This game's physics system is butt. Don't mind the smoke, it's supposed to land over there. But now you're here. You threw all that quickly, hopefully. And now you're already up here. You get an entry for your team. Hopefully the smoke lands there. Your team can get an entry off all the util you took. And remember, if you get tags off your nade, you tell your team immediately. For example, I threw my nade for triple. If I got tags on it, I'm going to call triple. Watch out triple. If I don't trust my team entirely, I'm going to tell them not to peek. Because, I don't want them dying instantly. I'm going to tell them, wait for me. I'm going to throw this util and you should wait for me. Then you also got to tell the palace guys what to do. That's up to you. That's based off the round. Usually they're just going to peek. They're going to get smoked off usually every round. So you got to watch out for that. If they do get smoked off, you want to slow. You want to slow those, actually. So, okay. Now, final thing. final thing, I'm going over this again. Mentality / morale. Now, if you want to lose all your games, you can be toxic, you can have an ego, you can be passive aggressive every single game. That is definitely going to lose you games. And I see so many people talking about how am I losing, I'm doing so good, but they really just don't, they're not having good morale. And you need that. You need to be a good IGL. You need to have good, talk to your team positively, not in a way you suck, you should never play again, go mid, go die instantly, abandon, please abandon, we're gonna lose. Don't do that, please. Please do not do that. If you actually want to win, if you want to sell, go ahead, be my guest, but just make sure you ticket yourself after. But that's really all. If you have questions, just DM me on Discord. I will answer them. This has gone on for more than I would like, because I didn't go over much even, but that's the end, so that's really all. Okay, one more quick thing for an aim tip that you need for this to work. That's why I kind of put the bots around. You need to be clearing all the angles for your team as an entry. Let's say you do this. You swing, ooh, boom, clear. Ooh, boom, clear. Ooh, clear. Ooh, boom, clear. And okay, no, that was not an accurate representation, but you need to be clearing your angles that your team won't check. For example, your team's not checking this. It's such a common angle, and well, I haven't seen someone use this in a while, but it's hard to get to. Okay, every single round on this game, someone will be here. You nade it, you flash it, you're the one who has to check this. Now, if you really need to, ask your team to just drop you smokes wherever you want to throw them. For example, for me, it's usually here, because I can just chalk one on ticket, chalk one over here, on the stairs, maybe on the cross, because if I smoke cross off, that gives me the ability to clear dark pretty easily. All those stairs, you have to ask your team to watch stuff for you, and hopefully they will. You can't trust your team in this. But no, that's the ending, so have a good one.